Good morning, friends. So I loved your Spirit Week pictures from yesterday, all your bedheads. Now today's your crazy animals, outrageous animal pictures. I look forward to seeing them, whether it's a real animal or a stuffed animal. I'll get a picture of all four of these crazy guinea pigs at some point. I'll get Marley to help me take that, or Sophie or Ben. Yesterday we were reading about, on Restart, we were reading about how Aaron and Bear and Chase are headed to the nursing home. And they really don't care who they hurt along the way or scare along the way to their community service. And then when they got there, they split, and Chase had gone to Mr. Solway's room, and that's where Shoshana was too. So, and he did not want Aaron and Bear seeing him working with Shoshana. So I'm going to pick up from where we left off. So the Colonel is lecturing us on conserving resources right behind him in the landing strip. The PFCs are unloading the 6 coolers of pastrami sandwiches we had flown in from San Francisco, and we are praying he doesn't run around because we sent 2 pilots over 12,000 miles, including a stop in the Midway Islands, to get us lunch. We're breaking our arms, patting ourselves on the back that we got away with it, when the Colonel sniffs the air and says, "Call me crazy, but I could swear I smell pastrami." I cling harder to the film cap so that my laughter won't make a picture jump. I see that Shoshana, the interviewer, is actually biting the side of her mouth to keep from cracking up. You don't want to do anything to interrupt Mr. Solway. Once he gets started, the stories tumble out one after another. It's our 3rd day at Portland Street working with the old soldier, and our best yet. Shoshana never planned on spending more than a couple of hours here, but neither of us counted on Mr. Solway having so much to say. Most of the time, he's all sarcasm, so it's hard to have a normal conversation with him. The big difference is Shoshana, who's a natural interviewer. She's so genuinely interested that she brings out the best in Mr. Solway. Some of the stories are sad, like losing friends in a battle, or having to rescue children orphaned by the war. Some are uplifting, the work of medics and the nurses, and the incredible heroism of ordinary soldiers. But amazingly, in the middle of all that suffering and violence, a lot of funny stuff happened too. Like the pastrami incident, or the time the General MacArthur's laundry was sent to their post by mistake, and they used his silk boxer shorts as party hats on New Year's Eve. I get the impression that Mr. Solway was the Army's version of a class clown, which doesn't really match the cranky old geezer he is now. Or maybe it does. I think of his mistrust of authority figures like doctors and administrators. He saw almost as many of those during the war as he did today in the assisted living home. After he took out the tank, he spent 5 weeks in the hospital. He was nearly court-martialed for running an illegal gambling operation. He filled empty IV bags with helium and took bets on balloon races. While he's telling it to Shoshana, he's roaring with laughter. His face is pink from the joy of the memory. I had $50 on the hot water bottle. That was a lot of money those days. And this crazy Texan threw a hypodermic needle like a dart and brought me down 3 feet shy of the finish line. I had never been so mad at anybody in my life, but I paid up. At least I was going to until the MPs raided the game. Party poopers. Engrossed in a story, I nearly missed the twin gasps from the hall. I glance over my shoulder and spy Aaron and Bear standing in the doorway, staring in bewilderment. Busted. Let's take a break, okay? I set down the camera and join them outside. What gives? Bear demands. First, you come with us to community service, then you don't even have to, that's bad enough. But now you're making a movie about the place? It's for Video Club. And with Shoshana Weber, Aaron cuts me off. Her stupid family got us sentenced to the Gray Bird Motel. Maybe I'm trying to make things right with her, I defended myself. Maybe if I help her with her project, the family will be more of in a forgiving mood. Yeah, that'll work, Aaron snorts. Listen, man, you might not remember how much the Webbers hate your guts, but I sure do. If it's up to them, we wouldn't be in community service, we'd be on the death row. But hey, it's all good. If you want to spend your time with people who curse the day that you were born instead of your true friends, it's not like we can stop you. I'm torn. On one hand, I'm not doing anything wrong. Still, I've kind of brought this on myself, covering up the fact that I'm working with Shoshana. Aaron looks honestly hurt, and I'm stabbing him in the back. And let's face it, he might be kind of right. After all, I didn't have to be so secretive about that video project. Bear chimes in. And of all the Dumbledores in this place, why do you have to pal around with that one? If you're looking for relics, this place is like an all-you-can-eat buffet. Why him? We're interviewing him, I try to explain. He's the most interesting person here. The guy's a war hero. They stare at me like I've got a cabbage for a head. Through weird silence. Finally, Aaron mumbles, yeah, you showed us the picture. The way you ignore all the residents here, I figured maybe you forgot. Yeah, well, we didn't, Bear snaps. We all know about Mr. Steinway. Solway, I correct? Aaron's annoyed. Listen, when you're practicing football 3 hours a day and doing community service because you have to, not because it's your hobby, you've got a lot more on your mind than remembering a very old coot's name. Come on, Bear. Look, who's talking about forgetting, Bear adds, resentfully as they head down the hallway. Way to go, Chase. I chew myself out as they round the corner. This is exactly what I was trying to avoid. And now they're ticked off at me. Worse, they feel like they can't trust me anymore. What's next, huh? When I re-enter the room, the first thing I see is Mr. Solway's walker standing against the wall. The old soldier himself is up on his feet, directing Shoshana, who's pulling a heavy box out of a closet. You know, she's saying, I thought being in the army taught people how to be more orderly. Mr. Solway throws his head back and golfs loudly. I'm the exception to that rule. Some of the followers, to this day, they make a bed so tight they could bounce a quarter off the blanket. Me, I always hated that spit and polish. I promised myself that the minute there was no sergeant around to search for a speck of dust on my boots, I was going to be messy as I wanted to be. Well, in that case, Shoshana informs me, this closet is your crowning glory. Instead of being insulted, the soldier looks kind of pleased. I can see it from all the way across the room. There are a few shirts, pairs of pants, one suit on hangers pushed over to one side. The rest of the space, 90% of it, is jam-packed with what can only be described as stuff. Picture the entire contents of a house crammed into a tiny 4-foot space. All the things that would end up in the basement, the garage, the attic, the attic live in that closet. There are books, ping pong paddles, a broom, a couple of bowling trophies, hip waders, a fishing rod, framed pictures, a weed whacker, ice skates, a 3-foot-high oriental vase with a crack up the side, a golf umbrella, a garden gnome, luggage, and cartons of varying sizes. As I cross the room, I get a peek inside the box that Shoshana dragged out. It contains 3 replacement furnace filters, jumper cables for a car, and a sterling silver nutcracker set. It looks like exactly what it is, the things a person collects over 86 years. And when that person moves to a place where all the storage space is in one little closet, it gets pretty tight in there. We've got a lot of footage of Mr. Solway talking, Shoshana explains to me from the depths of the collection. But what we need are some visuals to cut away to, mementos, old photographs, that kind of thing. What do you think? When we're talking project business, she sometimes slips up and treats me like a fellow human. Good idea, I agree. So I wonder what they're going to choose to go along with their video. He has a lot, sounds like he has a lot of stuff that they can choose from. So we'll have to see tomorrow what they end up deciding to take. So I hope it gets a little sunny out today. I know that it's a rainy day. Have a great day. I'm still counting down the days that we can be in class together again. Until then, keep working hard. I'm really proud of you. And I'll see you soon. Bye, guys.